Número 4, Kevin. 5, Gabriel. 6, Paulo. 7, Giovanni. 8, Ian. 9, Pico. 10, Mateus. 11, João. 12, Henrique. 13, Pedro. 14, Sérgio. 15, Daniel. E o treinador, Paulo. Vamos nesse momento para a apresentação da equipe da Grã-Bretanha. Thomas! Número 5! Número 7! Terceiro, Cat e comissário Taishi. Neste momento, todos e todas presentes em posição de respeito para a execução do hino nacional brasileiro.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Paralympico Sports Complex here in lovely Sao Paulo, Brazil. And you are locked into the third quarter-final of the IWBF U23 World Championship. The host nation, Brazil, the nation expects as they take on the European champions, Great Britain. There you see Great Britain warming up right in front of you. One of the more anticipated contests, no doubt, of this week and this tournament. It's going to be a fascinating encounter. Hello everyone, John Hobbs on hand, giving you all the action here on the South American continent. It is the 8th annual World Championship at this level. And Great Britain, unbeaten thus far, 5-0 in Group B, taking on the host nation, Brazil, who finished in 4th spot in Group A. Starting fives for the two teams. There is Brazil. They'll be starting with Gabriel Azevedo, Plínio Macedo, Joel Nascimento, Sergio Junior, and Daniel Pellicer. For Great Britain, they'll be rolling with Thomas Harvey, Charlie McIntyre, Jack Long, Abs Tagrest, and Oscar Knight. A lot of firepower, particularly on the Great Britain bench, led by Henley Kavanagh, Joel Clifton, Liam Barker having a great tournament as well. And for Brazil, Kawanda Silva, one of the main players off the bench for Brazil. They'll be rolling and they'll be reliant heavily on Nascimento and Sergio Junior to pull the strings for the Brazilian side. There they are as they get ready. Coach Paulo dos Santos leading the way for an enthusiastic and pumped up Brazil in front of their adoring home crowd. Our three officials assigned this contest: Hur Shufei of Taipei, Demetrios Zales of Greece, and Kathy Hay, appearing in her first World Championship event from Australia. As Brazil get ready, Gabriel Azevedo, Plínio Macedo, Joel Nascimento, Sergio Junior, and Daniel Pellicer. There is Hur Shufei of Taipei that'll get this game underway. The starting fives there for Brazil, the starting fives again for Great Britain: Tom Harvey, Charlie McIntyre, Jack Long, Abraham Tagrest, and Oscar Knight. The third quarter-final underway. We already know the first semi-finalists, as Australia will take on Germany in a rematch of their Pool A encounter at the opening day. And Great Britain in white get us underway, and here is McIntyre, who leads the tournament in assists. Long with the mid-range off the glass, no good. It's rebounded by Nascimento. Here is Sergio Junior. Sergio Junior. Here is Macedo. Nascimento. Sergio Junior. 7 to shoot for the host nation. Nascimento going to the elbow. That's his favourite spot. And he gets the friendly roll. And the host nation off the mark. Here is Tagrest, McIntyre. McIntyre going for the long shot, gets the 3 to fall. And Great Britain off to a 3-2 lead early doors. McIntyre, 2 triple doubles in his 5 games played thus far. All 5 games with 10 or more assists as well for the Southend lad. As a whistle has gone, Brazil will reset their offense. Big welcome to everyone joining us on the IWBF YouTube channel. Great to have you all on board. If you are local to Brazil, and of course you can check out the alternative Portuguese commentary over on the CBBC Brazil YouTube feed. Plínio Macedo misses everything with his long 2, and the ball goes out of bounds. GB will get possession. not just anticipated here on the court, but also off it. Definitely two of the most well-supported nations in these World Championships. Great Britain fans making the trip over the Atlantic Ocean here to South America. And lots of Brazil fans here in attendance, of course, as well. Here is Tagarest. 9 a shoot for McIntyre. Sets himself, puts it up, that's short. Gets his own rebound, dumps it off to Knight. Knight off the window. 5-2 in favour of Great Britain. The European champions off to a 3-point lead in the early going, just around 2 minutes played. Azevedo has room, so does Macedo. Nascimento with 3 to shoot for the hosts. Nascimento got to put something up. Macedo, the long 2. And it's rebounded by McIntyre. Nascimento coming off his lowest percentage game yesterday against Turkey, 23% from the floor. Only shot 5 of 21 in that game. McIntyre from the baseline, in and out. And away comes Sergio Junior, lightning quick down the other end, and Brazil with the transition score. Sergio Junior will always get the upper hand on Tagarest in transition on that exchange. McIntyre gliding to the hoop, finds long a 2, no good. Oscar Knight, ball is loose, Harvey comes up with it. And a good finish inside from Oscar Knight. That was a precarious position for Oscar Knight, but he somehow got it to go. Background there of Great Britain flags. There are Brazil flags as well, not just at that side, but on the stands as well. Azevedo, Nascimento, 7 a shoot for Brazil. Sergio Junior, he can shoot the 3, goes inside for the 2, good defense. Well, we thought it was good defense, but the referee blows his whistle. Foul is on Charlie McIntyre, that'll be his first foul of the contest. And shot up and no good, and away come Great Britain. Here is McIntyre. Coming up to 4 minutes played here in the first. Tagarest, long. A lot of time to shoot. That did a victory lap and rolled out. And Jack Long getting a lot of shots up in the early going. McIntyre with the steal. McIntyre now sets himself. Methodical in his approach. McIntyre gliding to the basket, finds Knight at the foul line. That's off the back iron, gets his own rebound. Has another bite of the cherry. And this time Nascimento, who averages 21 points, 14 rebounds, gets the rebound. And here is Bellasseur. Azevedo, Nascimento. Nascimento, great pass inside, and Macedo does the rest. Beautiful find there from João Nascimento. 1 point game, entering the halfway point of the third quarter final. Here is McIntyre. Tagarest at the foul line, good shooter from that distance. McIntyre, and Azevedo fouls him, and McIntyre will go to the line for 2. McIntyre misses the first. Charlie McIntyre leading the tournament in assists right now. 14 assists a game to go with 11 points and 8 boards. Sergio Junior looks to bank in a three, can't get it to fall. The ball is loose, and Brazil have it. Sergio Junior, a deadly three-point shooter. We've seen him all tournament long bury them, especially from beyond the arc around the wing area. Sergio Junior, a 30% three-point shooter in this tournament. Here is Nascimento. Shot clock in single figures for the host nation. Here is Nascimento. Three to shoot, Nascimento, Sergio Junior. They've got to put it up, Brazil. And Sergio Junior misses the long two. Almost an apprehension on that play to get the shot off. Brazil had a few good looks, but decided not to use them. Here is Oscar Knight, swept wide and welcomed in by McIntyre. Putting the moves on Azevedo. Lovely give and go there with Harvey, who puts it in. Brazil will get the ball. There's 4:08 remaining. Great Britain up 10-6 at the moment. Both teams, you feel, just feeling each other out right now. Great Britain nowhere near the electric starts they've been making in the pool stage. As we head to the quarterfinals here with Brazil on the ball, here is Nascimento. Of course, a long way to go in this contest. Nascimento, that's way off. And Great Britain will get the ball. There is Tom Harvey there. Just finishing off a strong season back in the United Kingdom in the Premier Division with the Sheffield Steelers. Here is McIntyre. Tugrest. Knight. McIntyre has it back. McIntyre thought about lining up a long two, and an offensive foul has been called. It's on Tom Harvey. And that'll be Tom Harvey's second foul of the contest. And Coach Adeora Bemi thinking about substitutions here as Great Britain with one more foul to give in this first period. Plinio, here is Marcedo. Marcedo with 9 to shoot. Sergio Junior, here is Nascimento. Sergio Junior. And that's off to the left. And it's picked up by Harvey, who fends off Azevedo for it. Here is Harvey again. Harvey gliding to the basket past Sergio Junior. Good recovery from Sergio Junior. And here he is on the ball right now. And Brazil out in transition. Azevedo doesn't get the friendly roll. On the follow, though, was Nascimento. And that is deadly from Brazil. So quick down the other end. Shooting at around 35% from the field as McIntyre lines one up and strings one from the baseline. Both teams right now uncharacteristically shooting under 36% from the field in this contest as we end up with under 2 to play in the first. That's way off from Pellicer. And away come Great Britain again. Long has it, guarded by Nascimento. Sweeps it wide. McIntyre again from the baseline, looking to repeat his feet. No, he's not. He's going to set himself. 4 to shoot. McIntyre drives instead to the dome and gets it to go. Patient play from McIntyre. You see it there, getting past Sergio Junior. And the reverse layup. Pretty from McIntyre. Sergio Junior with it. 14-8 in favour of Great Britain. Nascimento thought about the three, instead sweeps it wide to Azevedo. 3 to shoot for Brazil. Azevedo's shot misses everything. Good defense as the long arms of Oscar Knight got in the way. And here is Knight at the other end, did well to collect that and put it in. Great find from McIntyre, and Coach Dos Santos has called a timeout for Brazil. They trail 16-8. And it's been a good start for Brazil. But now Great Britain in the last 3 minutes starting to find their groove, get their rhythm going, especially offensively. And they lead 16-8. In that first 5 minutes, Great Britain only shot 29% from the floor. It's now gone up to 42. McIntyre with 8 points to lead the way for Great Britain. No doubt, in many people's eyes, the star of the show here in Sao Paulo. Oscar Knight, another player, battling his way inside, just gets the job done under the hoop. He has 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting right now. Brazil at the moment leaning on João Nascimento like they have done for the majority of this competition. 5 games, 5 double-doubles for Brazil's number 11. And so far he has 4 points and 4 rebounds to lead the host nation. And Brazil will get us off and running with 1:08 remaining in the first period. Nascimento to Sergio Junior. Be a fascinating matchup, Sergio Junior and McIntyre. Azevedo gets to his spot, thinks about it, instead kicks it out. Nascimento along 2, that's short, and it's rebounded by Knight. Oscar Knight with his second rebound to go with 6 points. Inside, into the game for the first time, and the first score for Joel Clifton. Alex Wilson also into the game for Great Britain, the number 7, Sergio Junior. You expect Great Britain to rotate their bench more frequently than Brazil in this one. Brazil lean on Sergio Junior and Nascimento heavily offensively. They do a great job, but right now, another turnover for Brazil. Final seconds of the first quarter. McIntyre lines up a 3, it's in and out. And Pellicer will collect, and that'll do it for the first 10 minutes of play. Brazil started strongly, but as the quarter progressed, Great Britain woke up and started to get into a bit more of an offensive rhythm, and as a result, they lead 18-8 after the first period. The 8th annual IWBF Under-23 World Championships, organised by the IWBF and our home nation here, Brazil. The CBBC Brazil YouTube feed giving you the action here in the native Brazilian Portuguese language if you want to see the alternative commentary. But it's great to have you all on board here on the IWBF YouTube channel. John Hobbs keeping you company as you see the backdrop there. Sao Paulo, Brazil, the second time this wonderful nation has hosted this prestigious event. You see in the background there the Great Britain fans making the long trip from Europe, as said earlier. Long way over the Atlantic Oceans, around a 12-hour flight. But they're here making noise. Great to see them here. And of course, the local Brazilian fans have been absolutely outstanding throughout this entire tournament. They have come in their droves here to the Paralímpico Sports Hall, the official Paralympic training center here in Brazil. Part of the Rio 2016 Paralympic Legacy Project, home of so many great sports in this facility. Of course, we've got wheelchair basketball, tennis, volleyball, blind football, judo, boccia. It's all here. You name it, they've got it in this wonderful facility. Of course, all 12 nations staying in the accommodation just across the road here on the same complex, and they have been treated fantastically. As as we get set to start the second period. Great Britain lead it 18-8 as Brazil will get us underway to start the second period. Only 4 field goals for Brazil in that first 10. Looking to build though as Nascimento long with his mid-range, and it's collected by Wilson. McIntyre pulling the strings, finds Knight. Knight collects, sets himself and knocks it down. 20-8 in favour of Great Britain. The winners of this quarter-final will meet the winners of the United States against Turkey. Of course, Germany and Australia, our first semi-final matchup tomorrow. And Australia-Italy putting on the game of the tournament thus far, with Mitchell Bond with the buzzer beater at the end. Sergio Junior. Azevedo. Gabriel Azevedo looking for options, goes for the mid-range, that's short. And Brazil in a little bit of a funk right now. They're finding the right shots, they're just not making them right now. It's frustrating for Dos Santos' team. Clifton, and Clifton buries a 2. And conversely, Great Britain are hitting all theirs, much to the delight of the Great Britain fans and of course the fans watching on in the United Kingdom. Sergio Junior, and his 3 is off the mark. McIntyre has the ball. Clifton again. Joel Clifton, right now, just can't miss. 3 of 3 from the field for him. Sergio Junior, Nascimento. Sergio Junior has the ball still. 3 to shoot. Great defense from Clifton as Marcedo smacks the backboard. Rowan Olsen tipped it to Knight. Last score for Brazil was with 2:50 remaining in the first period. Struggling a little bit here, nearly 5 minutes without a score. Here is Knight under the basket, can't get it to go. It's tipped by Nascimento and welcomed by Pellicer. Sergio Junior. Junior basket into the hoop, and the score finally for Brazil as Gabriel Azevedo with the finish. One of several players who plays his basketball in this facility in Sao Paulo. As the ball goes out of bounds, Brazil will get the ball. And Henrique Haight comes into the game for the first time, and Daniel Pellicer heads to the bench for the host nation. And a timeout called by Great Britain. A spell there for Brazil, forcing Coach Orabemi's hand into a timeout. With 7:14 remaining, and Brazil, who went 5 minutes without a score, finally got off the board and they're into double figures, but Great Britain lead by 14 early doors here in the second period. Big hello to everyone joining us on the IWBF YouTube channel, especially if you're watching on in the United Kingdom. Getting close to, well, it is nighttime over in the United Kingdom right now. I hope you're enjoying the action wherever you are. And of course, here in Brazil, the fans enjoying the action, the flags are waving, everyone having fun. And in just a moment over on court number 2, the final quarter-final will take place, as they are just warming up now between the United States of America and Turkey. All the games over on the, IWBF YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us as well on social media for all the behind-the-scenes action. Lots of great content as well from our local organising committee at CBBC Brazil. as McIntyre strips it off Sergio Junior, and Sergio Junior with the unsportsmanlike foul. And McIntyre will go to the line, and Great Britain will get the possession as well with a fresh 14. McIntyre now to the stripe for Great Britain. And this is the first. Charlie McIntyre just finished his second professional season in Italy with Dinamo Sassari. And a player representing his country. He's won a gold medal for his native England as well, in a tournament hosted by the Commonwealth countries in 3x3. Of course, the 3x3 inaugural World Championships coming to South Africa in August, as Brazil off and running to the races. Azevedo the finish. Azevedo now with his second field goal. Clifton did well to get that over Enrique Haight, and a foul. Enrique Haight just a little too enthusiastic going for the block. And Joel Clifton having a fantastic second period thus far. He moves on to 8, 4 of 4 shooting, flawless, unblemished, and hits his first free throw. Lino Macedo plays his basketball in the region of Paraíba here in Brazil. There's Nascimento on the catch and shoot, doesn't get it to fall. Here is Knight. Nascimento has still not scored in this second period. Here is Knight. Knight dumps it off again. Good defense from Nascimento. Welcomed in by McIntyre, who calls for calm. Great defense though from Joel Nascimento. And inside it goes, and the finish from Wilson. Sergio Junior, Macedo, Azevedo with the long two, that's off, and Knight rebounds. Brazil having a lot of trouble from the mid-range right now, almost exclusively going inside. Here is Knight. Knight dumps it off, great pass, but the finish is lacking from Wilson. And here is Brazil on the attack with Nascimento. Over the halfway point here in the second period. Joel Nascimento looking to get going, as is Sergio Junior. Sergio Junior sets the screen. Here is Macedo, a long shot that back irons, and the ball is loose. Azevedo and Wilson fighting for it, and Azevedo comes out trumps. Macedo wide open, that's no good. Gets his own rebound. Off balance, that's a wild shot. And Wilson collects. And a whistle has gone. Third offensive foul in that last possession for Brazil. And Brazil will keep it. 4:23 remaining. Great Britain lead 29-12, but Brazil certainly giving them a challenge here. Nascimento thought about it. Azevedo is free at the top. There he is on the ball right now, composes himself, puts it up, and it smacks the backboard. Here is McIntyre. Good cut to the basket from Wilson. McIntyre instead goes to Knight, back to McIntyre. Shot clock at 8 for Great Britain. Great cut to the basket from Knight, gets it to go, and a foul. And the raw emotion from McIntyre, as soon as that went down, you see it on the replay. Great cut to the basket from Oscar Knight, and you just see there McIntyre roaring. The emotion, the passion, not just from him, but this entire Great Britain squad. The European champions lead 31, now 32-12. This is the biggest lead of the contest, and Brazil yet to get going really in this second period. They've had a few good looks, and they need Joel Nascimento and Sergio Junior offensively. Here is Sergio Junior. Nascimento over Olsen, buries a two. That'll do for the host nation. They need a few more of them. McIntyre on the ball. Lovely pass again, and Knight again puts it in. Great cut to the basket, simple yet deadly from Oscar Knight. Oscar Knight shooting 63% from the field in these World Championships on 12 field goal attempts. Just shows you how clinical he is from the floor, as Sergio Junior misses the two inside. It's picked up by Clifton, and Great Britain rampant at the moment. They started slowly, but they're picking up the pace. Knight, splash. 60% from the field for Great Britain. Shooting 58% from the field, a tournament high right now for Great Britain. Another miss from the field for Brazil. 2:20 remaining in the first half, as Knight still has it. And Wilson puts it in, and Great Britain really having their way inside, having their way from the mid-range, everything going their way. And Paulo dos Santos with a lot to think about at the moment as we enter the final 2 minutes of the half. And the host nation down by 24. Marcedo. Kawan da Silva will check in momentarily for the hosts. Nascimento along the baseline, misses everything. And McIntyre with 8 points and 10 assists. And make that 11 assists right now. 6 straight games with 10 or more assists for Charlie McIntyre. 2 points shy of a double-double. Nascimento. Sergio Junior, beautiful cut to the basket, and Sergio Junior misses the two inside. That deserves so much more for the hosts. Great cut there from Sergio Junior. McIntyre, again composed, puts up a mid-range, and there's his double-double. 10 points, 11 assists for Charlie McIntyre. Joel Nascimento, he'll launch a three, that's off. And Brazil now shooting 20% from the field as Kawan da Silva comes in. Plinio Marcedo heads to the bench. The referee's just having a quick chat off camera. And there you see him there, Demetrius Zales of Greece and Kathy Hay of Australia. And the referees just want to have a look at something on the monitor. Just checking to see how much time is left on the game clock. Right now it's 35.9. I just want to see how many more seconds there are. Of course, right now in the early stages in the fourth and final quarter-final, the USA and Turkey over on court number 2. Of course, the winners of this contest and the contest going on over on court 2 will meet each other in the semi-finals. In the crossover games earlier on, we saw Canada defeat Thailand and Israel getting their first win of these World Championships, beating South Africa. As McIntyre takes a seat for the final 40 seconds, as 2/10 of a second has been added to the game clock. And Jack Long checks in for the final 40 seconds, and here he is on the ball right now. Led Great Britain at last year's European Championships, looking to put his first score of the second quarter up, but he can't get it to fall. Azevedo, full head of speed. Henley Kavanagh into the game for the first time as well. Sergio Junior, Nascimento in and out with his 2. It's rebounded by Clifton. Ball goes out of bounds. It will stay with Brazil. Kawan Da Silva, different hairstyle this time. He's dyed his hair as Kawan Da Silva. It was pink at the start of the group phase. It's now jet black. Nascimento puts up a 3. He smacks the backboard, and Hike Haight was going for it. Here is Henley Kavanagh, the pride of Manchester. Final seconds, Knight a 3, and that's off to the left. And it's been a good first half for Great Britain. They started slowly. Brazil certainly had the best of the opening first quarter, but GB in the ascendancy, no doubt about it. They lead 42-14 at the half. Oscar Knight leading the way, 17 points. Charlie McIntyre with 10 points and 12 assists, as he has secured his third double-double of these World Championships. It is half-time here in Sao Paulo. Great Britain at the summit, as we leave you with the highlights from the first half, and we will be back in roughly 12 minutes' time. Don't go anywhere. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Paralympico Sports Complex here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And we are underway for the third quarter in just a second. Great Britain lead the host nation 42-14. And there are the Great Britain team looking for a place in the semi-finals and are 20 minutes away from achieving that feat. They need to keep up the momentum that they had in the first 20, shooting 59% from the floor, led by Oscar Knight's 17. Charlie McIntyre with 10 points, 12 assists, his sixth straight game with 10 or more assists. As Great Britain outscored Brazil 24-6, they'll want to get back into this contest. A team with a lot of firepower. The number 14 there, Sergio Junior, certainly can get hot in a hurry. But right now, only 2 points on 1 of 7 shooting. Best performance for Sergio Junior came with 21 points, 10 assists against Canada. But so far going cold here in the quarterfinals. Liam Barker back into the game for the first time here in the third quarter as GB get us started in the third quarterfinal. Here is Long. Long puts in a 2 and Great Britain off to the best possible start. Great Britain have only shot under 50% once in their 5 games played so far. For the first 4 games, they had not shot the ball over 51%. An impressive statistic as Sergio Junior hits his second field goal. And Brazil really want him to get going. Here is Barker. Long has the ball. Long. Can't repeat the feat from the last attempt. And Sergio Junior collects, goes over Liam Barker. Good defense from Liam Barker. The new Getafe player in Spain, just finished a couple of seasons with the Reading Rockets. And GB will reset as Henley Kavanagh hit the deck. Great fan support from both Great Britain and Brazil here. Barker at the elbow, met by Sergio Junior. Here is Long. Long has had 2 field goal attempts in this third quarter, going for a hat-trick, and can't get that to fall, and he's shooting at 33% here in the third. Here is Nascimento. Kawanda Silva exploding to the dome and gets it to go. Early doors here in the third period. Tukia and the United States of America going on right now over on court number 2 in our final quarter-final. The winners of these two games will meet in tomorrow's semi-final as the 2 is Money from Clifton. Sergio Junior. Sergio Junior, great pass inside, and Azevedo with a tough finish inside. Gabriel Azevedo, certainly one of the mainstays in this Brazil starting 5. Here is Clifton with the ball. 9 to shoot for GB. Sweeps it wide to Long. Long composes himself. And it's rebounded by Kawanda Silva. Sergio Junior. Sergio Junior sees a lane, goes for the mid-range and banks it home. Sergio Junior with 4 points already in this third quarter after going 1 of 7 in the first half. Here is Long. Sweeps it wide to Clifton. A lot of time on the shot clock for Great Britain, and Clifton again. Great Britain deadly from mid-range. Sergio Junior to the dome, and it rattles around, does a victory lap and falls in. And a quick timeout has been called by Great Britain. Coach Orobemi not happy with what he's seeing right now. A couple of quick baskets from Brazil, particularly from Sergio Junior. And Brazil's number 14 moves on to 10 points. Chuck in 3 assists as well for good measure. Early doors here in the third period. Great Britain leading this one 48-24. But in the last, well, in fact, in this third quarter so far, Brazil outscoring their European counterparts 8-6. And our referee from Taipei there are the Great Britain fans. They've had fun over the last few weeks, or last week or so, excuse me. As George Gray and Rowan Olsen come into the game for Great Britain. George Gray seeing his first minutes of this contest. Is McIntyre. McIntyre thought about the three. Azevedo closed him down, and a travelling violation on Charlie McIntyre, who can't believe the call. Good defence though from Gabriel Azevedo. The little things forcing Great Britain into a turnover. Sergio Junior. Nascimento, Enrique Haight gets the 2 to fall. Enrique Haight, who plays a little bit of time on the bench, but does well in spurts for this Brazil team. McIntyre thought again about the 3. Goes for the mid-range. No, he pumps it off to George Gray, who gets his first field goal. Sergio Junior. Sergio Junior was thinking about the shot. Good trap back there from Clifton. Nascimento gets it to go. Joel Nascimento with the 2 for Brazil. He moves on to 8, but Nascimento shooting 4 of 12 from the field. Clifton a 2, that's no good. Gray with the rebound did well to scoop that, and here is McIntyre. Now McIntyre driving to the basket, easy as you like. McIntyre has 12, Great Britain up 52-28. Joel Nascimento and Sergio Junior shooting a combined 7 of 24 from the floor. Here is Nascimento. And a good steal there from Gray, and now it's 2-on-1, and Great Britain fancy their chances. They smell blood, but the pass from Gray is long, and it goes out of bounds. A rare turnover for Great Britain, just their 6th of this contest. Sergio Junior goes for 3, buries a 3. Sergio Junior, a 30% three-point shooter in this tournament. Does like to shoot the 3, shoots at around 5 a game, was 0 of 11 against Australia in the group phase, but has hit a fair few, gets his first here in this contest. Clifton at the other end off the glass, no good. It's batted by Sergio Junior. It will be a Great Britain ball with 3:39 remaining in the third. Gray. Here is McIntyre. Dumps it off to Gray. Great give and go. And Gray composed, easy as you like. George Gray with his second field goal. Great Britain professional in their approach right now. Sergio Junior puts in another three. Two quick three-pointers for Sergio Junior. Another of the Brazil players that plays his basketball right here in Sao Paulo. McIntyre has the ball. And a foul called on Sergio Junior. And that'll be his second foul of the day. McIntyre again thinks about the three. Goes past De Silva and George Gray. Foul is called. And Great Britain will have possession. George Gray having a chat with our referee from Australia, Kathy Hay, about whether that should have been two shots or maybe something else, I don't know. I'm not a lip reader. Henley Kavanagh. Here is McIntyre. McIntyre composed, sets himself. Over Haight, gets the two to fall, and Charlie McIntyre staring down Enrique Haight. Sergio Junior. Kawanda Silva, back to Sergio Junior, who has the hot hand. And a heat check there for him as it goes to the left. But Brazil have the ball back. 2:15 remaining. Azevedo, 6 to shoot for Brazil. Great defense from Gray. Gets his hands all over him. And the shot clock winding down. That clipped the rim. And Haight goes for the two. I think the GB coaches there wanted a shot clock violation. It did clip the rim. And a foul is called. And substitutions for Great Britain. Rowan Olsen checks out. And into the game for the first time, Ollie Porter. One of the two debutants for this Great Britain team. One debutant replacing the other, actually. As Rowan Olsen heads to the bench, McIntyre again for the third time. Thought about the three, and another dump-off pass to Gray. And McIntyre and Gray are absolutely a deadly dynamic duo right now. Sergio Junior, McIntyre now with 15 assists. And a whistle has gone as Joel Clifton was on the floor. .124 remaining here in this third quarter. It's been a more competitive quarter of play than we've seen in the first half. Great Britain winning the opening two quarters 18-6, or 18-8, excuse me, and 24-6. But right now, just 4 points in this third quarter. Great Britain still in the ascendancy, though. Sergio Junior has it, lobs it wide, and Kawanda Silva can't hang on. It's stolen by Porter. De Silva nearly got the steal. And here comes Clifton. McIntyre. De Silva to meet him. Clifton gets it back. 9 to shoot for GB. Clifton, a mid-range is money. And with 1 minute to play in the third period, Great Britain are inching closer. Sergio Junior airballs a three. And that'll be your Great Britain ball. Sergio Junior, 2 of 7 from downtown here in this one. He takes more three-pointers than anyone else in these World Championships on average. Here is McIntyre. Lines up. And doesn't get the 3 to fall. Conversely now, McIntyre, 1 of 3 from downtown now. Nascimento. Sergio Junior. Nascimento. And Nascimento can't get it to fall. The ball is loose. It's welcomed by Clifton. Here is Gray. Final seconds of the third quarter. McIntyre has the room to go there, and Henley Kavanagh, well, there was a good fake, but great hands from Azevedo. Sergio Junior and Gabriel Azevedo were right in Henley Kavanagh's face. And Azevedo tips it out of bounds. Great Britain will get the ball with 2.1 on the clock to end the third. Clifton, McIntyre, shot clock winding down, game clock winding down. That will do it for the third quarter. That won't count from Joel Clifton. Bit of a miscommunication there, but either way you look at it, Great Britain firmly in the summit and on their way to a semi-final berth. They lead Brazil, the host nation, 60-34 right now. Oscar Knight, 17 points and 4 rebounds. Didn't play a minute of the third period. Charlie McIntyre with his double-double with 14 points and 15 assists. Joel Nascimento has 8 points and 9 rebounds. 2 points and 1 rebound shy of his 6th straight double-double in these World Championships. They're led by Sergio Junior, who has 14 points and 4 assists. Both Nascimento and Sergio Junior playing all 30 minutes alongside Gabriel Azevedo. Brazil with it all to do. Going into the fourth quarter, the host nation, who have been incredible hosts of this marvelous World Championship. Second time it's been hosted here on the continent of South America and in Brazil. And Great Britain eyeing up a second World Championship gold medal. Their last victory coming in 2017 when they beat Turkey in the final. Brazil, in their own right, have a silver medal, which they claimed here in Brazil in 2001. And GB, as said, looking for their second gold medal. Only 2 nations have 2 gold medals in these World Championships. That's the USA and Canada. They both won the first 4 World Championships respectively. Canada won the first 2, and the USA won World Championships number 3 and 4. As we get set to start the fourth and final period, and the host nation have it all to do here. Down 60-34, here is Sergio Junior, Ollie Porter hounding him. And the ball is loose and welcomed in by McIntyre. Great defense there from Ollie Porter. Really energetic, tenacious from the debutant. Clifton has the ball. Marked by Enrique Haight. Clifton now is open. Good screen there, good help from George Gray. Risky pass, but it finds Kavanagh, and Henley Kavanagh will head to the stripe. Good catch there from Henley Kavanagh. It was a risky pass from Clifton, but Henley Kavanagh received it and will go to the line, averaging 8 points in these World Championships. He's spent all of his time on the bench, or coming off the bench. Former Manchester Revolution player makes the first. Makes them both. Here is Sergio Junior. some space, gets the ball at the wing. Sergio Junior retrieves it, 5 to shoot for Brazil. Nascimento way off with his mid-range from the elbow. And here is McIntyre. Clifton has the ball. Here is McIntyre. Thought about launching a mid-range. 4 to shoot for Great Britain. Great pass from McIntyre. And the finish lacking from Porter. Great Britain with such patient build-up play. Never panicking. Here is Sergio Junior. He'll line up a 3, and that's way off, and Nascimento nearly got it, but it's welcomed in instead by Clifton. Here is McIntyre. McIntyre, great pass to Kavanagh, and Kavanagh the finish. Henley Kavanagh's first field goal in this contest. He now moves on to 4 points. Sergio Junior, great defense from Gray again. The long arms of George Gray disrupting Sergio Junior, and the whistle has gone. And the foul has been called on Joel Clifton. And that'll be his first foul. George Gray, Ollie Porter and Clifton will actually come out now. Tom Harvey, Jack Long, and Abs Tagrest into the game for Great Britain. Azevedo, Sergio Junior. Good defense from Abs Tagrest this time. And a shot clock violation has gone. And Great Britain get the ball. Such as the noise inside the Paralympico Sports Hall. Not even the Brazilians realised that there was a shot clock violation. Heck, not even I was aware of it. And that will teach me. Here is McIntyre. That's Brazil's 8th turnover of the contest. And good steal for him. Ike Haight stripping it off Knight. But Great Britain have the numbers. And now Kawanda Silva can't hang on, but inadvertently passes it to Azevedo. And Brazil will reset. And Ike Haight will not be able to reach that ball from Sergio Junior. He knows it as well. There's the two just slap hands, and they will go on to a defensive set. 3 minutes played, and Great Britain up by 30. Here is McIntyre. McIntyre, brilliant pass in sight. Knight does the rest. Nascimento thought about the 3, but Harvey closed him down. Kawanda Silva, a mid-range. First field goal for Kawanda Silva. And Abs Tagrest letting the ball roll, and now the game clock will restart. McIntyre just gliding his way to the basket, one-handed, doesn't get that to fall. Sergio Junior, here is Joel Nascimento. Azevedo, wide open to Silva. Great defense though from Long to track back. And Brazil will reset with Sergio Junior. Nascimento. Nascimento will launch one, and that's short. And Porter will collect. Excuse me, Knight will collect. Oscar Knight still has it. Jack Long hits the deck. Nascimento with the steal. Kawanda Silva now has it. Jack Long gets himself back up, but Brazil have the numbers. And Jack Long returns to the fray. Nascimento fading away. Good defense from Long, but he gets his own rebound. Puts another one up, and the whistle has gone, and 2 shots for Joel Nascimento and a foul on Jack Long. And a timeout has been called by Great Britain as Adeola Bemi wants to chat it over. 5:09 remaining, 66-36 in favour of Great Britain. Winners of this quarter-final will meet the winners of the United States and Turkey. Going on over on court number 2 right now. It seems to be a close one right now as well over on court number 2. But right here we're going to the halfway point of the 4th period. Great Britain with the Union Jacks bearing the names of their heroes, inching closer to a place in the last 4 here on the continent of South America. As Brazil, the proud host nation, head now to the floor. Joel Nascimento to the line for a couple. As the noise, regardless of the score, deafening inside the Paralympico Sports Hall, Nascimento misses the first. This is actually Brazil's first trip to the foul line in this game, as Nascimento splits the free throws. Here is Charlie McIntyre. Abstagrast has the ball, lines one up, and that's long and rebounded by Sergio Junior. Only his second rebound to go with 14 points. He has 4 assists as well, and reset of the play as Gabriel Azevedo hits the deck. And Ollie Porter will check back in. Abstagrast heads to the bench. And Liam Barker and Alex Wilson will also come in. Charlie McIntyre heads out, as does Oscar Knight. Coach Orobemi has said earlier, GB will rotate their bench more than Brazil will. Brazil reliant heavily on their starting 5, in particular Sergio Junior and Joel Nascimento. Here is Nascimento, 2 points shy of his double-double. That'll be his 6th of these World Championships, as Sergio Junior will go to the line for 2. Junior will make the first. He moves on to 15. Here is Long. Good track back defense there from Nascimento, as Barker gives it up to Wilson. Wilson thought about passing it to Long, instead passes it to the other side. Here is Barker, shot clock at 3. Barker, the lefty, doesn't get it to fall. Here is Sergio Junior. 6 minutes played here in the 4th. Enrique Haight. And Enrique Haight can't get it to fall. Good defense there, a mixture of Barker and Porter. And a turnover from Brazil, and away come Great Britain. As Harvey dumps it off, Barker. Great patience, but he misses the 2. And it's rebounded by Joel Nascimento. And the foul has been called under the basket. The foul is called on Wilson. And that'll be his first foul. As substitutions coming in for Brazil, Plinio Macedo checks in, as does Daniel Pellicer and Giovanni Souza. As Azevedo, Nascimento come out. Juan da Silva, reluctantly the third person to check out and head to the bench. Sergio Junior. Here is Giovanni. Sergio Junior. Giovanni gets it back. Is Palliser. Palliser can't get the shot to fall. And away come Great Britain once again with 3:13 remaining. And a semi-final spot looming. Good defense there. There's Juan da Silva, who thought actually went to the bench but came back. Got the steal and Brazil have the ball. Giovanni, the 19-year-old. Here is Sergio Junior. Giovanni, Juan da Silva. Juan da Silva exploding to the basket. He'll kick it back out for the shoot. Giovanni with the long two. That's short. And here come Great Britain on the ball. Harvey down the main street. Here is Barker. Barker goes up and Liam Barker will head to the line. Liam Barker preparing for his first season abroad. He'll be heading to Spain in the summer, going to Getafe. As he makes the first, he was mentored and coached by his father Grant, who is here over at the Reading Rockets. Actually played alongside his brother Reese as well, who's back at home, I'm assuming, watching. As on the follow, Wilson can't get the fall. And Barker hits the deck, colliding with Sergio Junior. So Brazil have the numbers momentarily. Sergio Junior has it. Barker still on the floor. Sergio Junior blocked by Long. It's picked up and retrieved by Palliser, who gets the friendly roll. And the play will stop as Liam Barker is helped to the floor, or is helped up off the floor. And IWBF racing to his player's aid. Barker just adjusting the straps and he's raring to go. IWBF doubling up as coach and trainer. And sharing a joke with his assistant coach Joe Beswick, just for good measure. It's been a good evening's work for him and for Great Britain. Here is Harvey, lobs it to Long. Final 2 minutes. And Great Britain looks set to eliminate the host nation from contention for the World Championships. But Brazil will certainly exit with their heads held high. Juan da Silva with the foul there. Great Britain certainly asserting their dominance here in Brazil. They've won all 5 games by an average of a massive 53 points. No one has gone close to that. And no one has gotten close to Great Britain either, as they will romp to the semi-finals, where either the United States or Turkey will await them. Juan da Silva with an offensive foul with 1:19 remaining, and getting a little chippy out there now as Palliser and Wilson just having a bit of a collide as well. long, looking for Barker and finds him. Barker, here is Long. Shot clock at 7. Long surveying. Barker the recipient, and Barker can't get the follow. On the follow though was Harvey, has 2 bites of the cherry, and it's rebounded by Marcedo as we enter the final 45 seconds of what has been a good win for Great Britain, as they will eliminate the host nation here at the quarter-final stage. And it's stolen or tipped by Liam Barker. It'll be a Great Britain ball. Giovanni will check it back into the game as Sergio Junior banks in a running floater. And there's only 1.3 second differential between shot and game clock. The shot clock is now off anyway. And Great Britain will roll it out. They will, well, Tom Harvey will look to put the exclamation point on the victory, and he does off the window. And Brazil will just let the ball go out with the final seconds ticking by. They know the game is up. Great Britain march on to the semi-finals, where the USA or Turkey awaits as the host nation eliminated, but with their heads held high. But Great Britain with a 69-43 victory here over the host nation, Brazil. Charlie McIntyre with a double-double of 14 points, 17 assists. Oscar Knight led the way with 19. Great Britain shooting 50% from the field, their second lowest field goal percentage in their 6 games played, but they won't care. The win is what matters. Brazil were led by Sergio Junior's 18 points. For the first time in this competition, Joel Nascimento missing out on his double-double, 9 points, 13 rebounds for him. But a good night for Great Britain. They march on to the semi-finals. And head over to court number 2, because Turkey and the United States are going at it right now over there. But for now, from me, John Hobbs, it's a pleasant evening here from Sao Paulo. Good night, everybody.